Ever had a neighbor who thinks the street belongs to them? That was Karen, HOA Queen, clipboard in hand, acting like every petty rule she ever made was law. The type of person who fines you for leaving your trash can out for an extra 5 minutes, scolds kids for riding bikes too loudly, and lectures adults for daring to smile on a Sunday morning. I ordered a brand new smartphone, thinking it would be waiting on my porch when I got home, but 2 days later, the driveway was empty. I asked Jake, my neighbor, "Did you see the delivery?" He shrugged. Truck stopped. Something was dropped, but I didn't see what. My gut sank immediately. Someone in the neighborhood was stealing packages, and it wasn't random. It was targeted. First time, I shrugged, telling myself maybe it was bad luck, but second time, my hoodie arrived and gone the moment I got a text notification. Enough was enough. I wasn't going to play the clueless victim anymore. I spent the next day planning every angle. Tiny hidden cameras were set up, almost invisible, every inch of my porch and driveway under surveillance, recording every movement, every shadow, every unsuspecting passerby. I remembered that HOA meeting where Karen had lost her mind over something trivial, screaming at everyone and waving her clipboard like a weapon. That image stuck in my head. If she wanted to steal my packages, I'd give her a memory that would haunt her. I needed chaos, drama, and pure street-level revenge. That's when the idea hit me. A small, trained Batman action figure. Not dangerous, but wild, unpredictable, and ready to strike in a way that would create panic, screaming, and humiliation for Karen. I sourced it from a licensed handler, tested its movements, made sure it could leap, cling, and perform perfectly. The package was disguised meticulously, glitter tape, "Congratulations winner" sticker slapped on the front, and a faint air freshener to mask any hint of danger. Night fell, the street was quiet, the perfect setup. I placed the box carefully on my porch, camera across the street set to capture every angle, every motion, every second of what was about to unfold. Karen, of course, was predictable. Out she came, clipboard in hand, smirk fixed, acting like she owned the block, tiptoeing like she was about to claim a treasure, and snatched the box like it was her birthright. The second she opened it, Batman sprang to life, leaping straight toward her face. She screamed immediately, hands flailing, hair flying, clipboard gone, her high heels clattering against the pavement as she stumbled and spun. Neighbors poured out instantly, phones raised, capturing every insane, chaotic second. Karen ran in circles, spinning, tripping over the lawn edge, almost falling, screaming like the world was ending. Batman clung, bounced, flapped, wild, dramatic, perfect. I stayed across the street recording, heart pounding, loving every moment of her chaos, while the neighbors cheered, laughed, some shouting instructions, some just filming. The street was alive. Buzzing, people pointing, shouting, laughing, the night air filled with noise. Light from porch lamps casting long shadows, neighbors peeking from windows. Witnessing the HOA Queen's ego crumble in real time. Karen tried to swat Batman off, but every movement made it worse. She was a storm of hair, hands, flailing limbs, and horror. The chaos escalated, screams piercing the night, and still I kept filming, knowing every second was gold, proof that the arrogant could be toppled with a little cleverness and perfect timing. Packages had stopped vanishing for me after that night. But the moment, the tension, the sheer ridiculousness of seeing the so-called authority figure flailing with Batman stuck to her face. That was priceless. And while she thought she could recover, she didn't know the night was far from over. Every neighbor had seen it, every phone recording it, and the word spread like wildfire. Her HOA Queen image? Shattered. The street had watched justice unfold in real time. She wasn't untouchable, not anymore. And me? I stayed hidden, recording, heart still racing, knowing the next phase was going to be even more satisfying, the fallout from that chaos about to reach its peak. Every detail, the flailing, the screaming, the neighbors' reactions, the chaos, the absurdity, was perfect, like a movie unfolding on our quiet street. And I knew deep down this was just the beginning. The perfect revenge had started with one stolen package. A little planning and a tiny dramatic hero called Batman, and it was only going to get better from here. The night air was thick with tension, every porch lamp flickering as if highlighting the chaos that had just erupted. Karen, flailing and screaming, still had Batman clinging to her face, its tiny limbs digging just enough to make every second unbearable, and every neighbor on the street frozen between laughter and shock. Hair wild, clipboard gone, high heels slipping, she spun like a tornado of humiliation, her HOA queen aura shattered in an instant. I stayed across the street, heart pounding, camera rolling, knowing every second was pure gold, capturing a live street drama that would be remembered forever. The neighbors, phones up, were shouting commentary, some laughing so hard they could barely stand, some screaming for her to calm down, and a few simply gawking, unable to believe what was unfolding in front of them. Karen's panic was artful chaos. She tried to grab Batman, failed, stumbled over her own feet, nearly crashing into a flower pot, and the sound of her scream echoed down the street like a banshee. I could hear someone yell, "Call the cops!" And before long, sirens blared, lights flashing in the distance. Karen, still spinning, still screaming, was now the star of a real-life neighborhood spectacle. Police arrived in minutes, quickly assessing the insanity. Officers moved with precision, one securing Batman safely, while another attempted to calm Karen down, but her words were incoherent, hysteria overpowering any rational explanation. The crowd of neighbors was still filming, narrating, laughing, pointing, some shouting advice, some just reveling in the spectacle of the so-called HOA queen, completely undone by her own arrogance and a tiny, heroic action figure. Batman, still clinging for dear life, was carefully removed, and Karen was finally restrained. Police gently guiding her toward the squad car as her screams echoed down the block. Neighbors cheering, laughing, and capturing every humiliating moment. The irony was perfect. The woman who fined, scolded, and controlled everyone on her street was now in handcuffs, embarrassed beyond recovery, and every single second recorded for posterity on dozens of phones. The neighborhood, buzzing with adrenaline and laughter, felt lighter, safer, free from the chokehold of petty rules and fear of unfair fines. Packages arrived undisturbed after that, the street alive with gossip, jokes, and replayed videos showing Karen spinning, screaming, flailing, and finally being taken into custody. The lesson was clear, vivid, unforgettable. Arrogance and control are temporary, but clever planning, timing, and a bit of street-level mischief can completely topple even the most controlling neighbor. From that night on, every time someone mentioned HOA rules, the memory of Karen, Batman clinging to her face, and the police taking her away made everyone pause, laugh, and remember that chaos, cleverness, and timing always win over greed and self-righteousness. And me? I stayed in the background recording, heart still racing, knowing I had orchestrated the perfect revenge, a story that would be told, replayed, and laughed about for years to come. That night, the quiet street became legendary. Karen's reign was over, the neighborhood buzzing, and the tale of a tiny action figure, clever planning, and the perfect timing of karma spread far beyond our block, proving once and for all that no matter how untouchable someone thinks they are, a little chaos and a touch of creativity can bring anyone crashing down, leaving laughter, relief, and unforgettable memories in its wake.